transmission. Incoming transmission. Incoming transmission. Incoming transmission.
This is Lieutenant Serena Voss calling from the observation station DM 498, hailing Battlefleet Scarus. We have detected the passage of several large, unidentified vessels in our vicinity. This is not a drill. Repeat, this is not a drill. We need immediate support and reinforcement. Rear Admiral Rasiak, if you receive this, prepare all available vessels for engagement. The Vraks system is in imminent danger.
In the 813th year of the 41st millennium, the galaxy holds its breath as a single planet teeters on the brink of chaos. A fortified world and a defiant leader spark a conflict of unimaginable scale. The Death Korps of Krieg face an enemy within, igniting the epic siege of Vraks. Unseen manipulators have sown discord, leading to rebellion. Whispers of sabotage and secretive influences hint at deeper schemes. But who are the shadowy forces that sparked this devastating war? In the year 813, M41, the armory world of Vraks, a vital supply point for the Imperium, fell into chaos. Vraks is located within the Scarus sector of the Segmentum Obscurus, a world vital to the Imperium's military logistics. This insurrection was orchestrated by Cardinal Zafen, a high-ranking ecclesiarch who had grown increasingly disillusioned with the Imperium's bureaucracy and perceived moral decay. Utilizing his influence, Zafen declared Vraks independent, igniting a rebellion that would engulf the planet in warfare for decades. Zafen's initial strategy hinged on fortifying Vraks, using its own military resources. The planet was a treasure trove of weapon stockpiles, fortified bunkers, and defensive structures, all of which Zafen commandeered to bolster his defenses. He rallied the local populace, including the PDF, Planetary Defense Force, to his cause, convincing them that their struggle was righteous and divinely sanctioned. The rebellion's onset saw Vraks transformed into a fortress world. Vast trench networks were dug, artillery batteries were emplaced, and countless mines were laid. The rebels' fervor and the planet's strategic importance meant the Imperium could not ignore this insurrection. The stage was set for one of the most protracted and brutal sieges in Imperial history. The Imperium's response was swift and brutal. Recognizing the threat posed by a fortified Vraks under Zafen's control, the High Lords of Terra sanctioned an immediate military intervention. The task fell to the Death Korps of Krieg, a regiment known for their relentless discipline and expertise in siege warfare, products of a history steeped in rebellion and trench combat on their homeworld of Krieg. The Death Korps began their campaign by establishing a beachhead on Vraks. This initial landing was fraught with peril. Zafen's forces were well prepared, and the Krieg forces faced entrenched defenses, heavy artillery fire, and a determined enemy. The initial assaults aimed at breaching Vraks' outer defenses met fierce resistance. The cost in lives was staggering, with thousands of Krieg soldiers perishing in the first waves. Undeterred, the Krieg commanders employed their traditional strategies, relentless, grinding assaults designed to wear down the enemy through sheer attrition. They constructed trenches parallel to the rebel lines, gradually advancing despite the heavy casualties. Their motto, "Victory or death," was exemplified in their actions as they fought tirelessly to break through the formidable defenses. As the conflict dragged into its second decade, it became clear that a swift victory was impossible. Both sides had dug in, leading to a prolonged period of entrenchment and stalemate reminiscent of the trench warfare of ancient Terra. This phase of the siege of Vraks was characterized by its sheer brutality and the scale of destruction. The battlefield of Vraks turned into a hellish landscape of mud, blood, and shattered fortifications. The Death Korps of Krieg and Zafen's rebels engaged in relentless trench warfare. Soldiers lived and died in the trenches, facing not only the enemy, but also the elements and disease. Artillery bombardments became a daily occurrence, turning the ground into a cratered wasteland. Chemical warfare was also a grim feature of this phase. Both sides employed gas attacks, aiming to flush out entrenched troops and break the deadlock. The use of chemical weapons caused horrific injuries and deaths, adding to the nightmarish conditions on Vraks. Gas masks and protective gear became as essential as rifles and ammunition. The Krieg forces, with their unparalleled resilience, gradually made headway. Inch by bloody inch, they pushed forward, overrunning rebel trenches and bunkers. The cost in human lives was immense, with entire battalions being wiped out for the sake of capturing a single trench line. The war of attrition favored the Krieg, whose willingness to endure endless casualties slowly began to tip the balance. Throughout this phase, the logistical challenge of maintaining the siege was immense. Supplies had to be shipped across the galaxy, and the wounded required evacuation and medical care. Despite these challenges, the Death Korps of Krieg remained steadfast, driven by their unwavering commitment to the Emperor and their determination to reclaim Vraks for the Imperium. As the stalemate dragged on, it became clear that breaking the deadlock would require a decisive action or reinforcements. The Imperium prepared to escalate their efforts, setting the stage for the next phase of the siege, where the arrival of additional forces and a change in tactics would begin to turn the tide in their favor. The siege of Vraks was far from over, and the worst was yet to come. The Inquisition, recognizing the dire threat posed by Cardinal Zafen's heresy, covertly deployed a Vindicare assassin to eliminate him and destabilize the rebellion. Expertly trained and equipped for such missions, the Vindicare assassin infiltrated the heavily fortified strongholds of Vraks. Using advanced camouflage and stealth technology, the assassin meticulously tracked Zafen's movements. Each step was a calculated move in a deadly game of cat and mouse, with the ultimate goal of delivering a single precise shot to end the Cardinal's treacherous life. The assassin took the shot, aiming to end the rebellion. However, the sniper's round was deflected by Zafen's Rosarius-mounted refractor field, saving the Cardinal's life. This failed assassination attempt ignited full-scale rebellion across Vraks. The ruler seized control of the Citadel and the planet's extensive military industry. By severing Vraks from the Imperium, he disrupted crucial supply chains, threatening Imperial forces across the sector and potentially compromising defenses as far as the Cadian Gate. The failed assassination attempt thus not only failed to stop the rebellion, but also escalated it to a planetary crisis with far-reaching consequences. In response to the growing threat, the first to answer the call for reinforcements were the Dark Angels. This esteemed first founding chapter, led by Supreme Grand Master Azrael, deployed almost half their battle brothers to Vraks. Arriving with the battle barge Angel of Retribution and a fleet of strike cruisers and escorts, the Dark Angels had their own hidden motives intertwined with their mission to restore order. One of the pivotal moments was the assault on the primary spaceport by the Astartes. The Dark Angels launched a coordinated attack to seize control of this strategic location. The spaceport was heavily defended by rebel forces, making the assault a formidable challenge. The Astartes, with their superior combat skills and heavy weaponry, executed a precise and brutal assault, breaking through the defenses. This operation was crucial in cutting off the rebels' supply lines and reinforcements, significantly weakening their position and boosting the morale of the Imperial forces. The capture of the spaceport marked a turning point in the siege, demonstrating the might and tactical prowess of the Astartes in the relentless war for Vraks.
Incoming transmission. Incoming transmission.
This is Chapter Master Varant Ortis of the Red Scorpions. We have arrived in the Vraks system and are preparing to deploy. All Imperial forces, stand by for coordinated assault orders. The Emperor's justice will be swift. Ortiz out.
The prolonged stalemate on Vraks prompted the Imperium to call in reinforcements. Space Marine chapters, including the Dark Angels and Red Scorpions, were deployed to break the deadlock. These elite warriors brought superior firepower and tactical acumen, marking a significant escalation in the conflict. Coordinated assaults on key rebel positions began in earnest. The Death Korps, now supported by the Space Marines, launched a series of devastating offensives. These included the Battle of the Redoubt and the assault on the Citadel, crucial fortifications held by Zafen's forces. The combined Imperial might started to turn the tide in their favor, despite the ferocity of the defenders. Little did they know, their every move was being manipulated by unseen hands. Hidden orchestrators watched closely, ready to spring their deadly trap.
Incoming transmission.
Brother, the Vraks escalation is proceeding as planned. Imperial forces are heavily engaged. Activate sleeper agents and disrupt supply lines. Chaos contingents are in position. Glory to the Hydra. Xenophon out.
As the Alpha Legion's cryptic transmission echoed through the void, the fate of Vraks hung in the balance. What dark machinations awaited the Imperium's forces? Stay tuned to uncover the chaos that is about to be unleashed.